5 facts you didn't know about Pulp Fiction. Hey guys, today we're going to list 5 facts you didn't know about Pulp Fiction. Let's get right into it. Number 1. Vincent Vega's book. Vincent Vega's reading habit is one of the many wonderful little details that color Pulp Fiction. Reading a particularly dense paperback book while in the restroom by an incompetent, substance-addicted hitman and seemingly intellectually incurious lunkhead goes unnoticed in the film. However, it holds your attention on subsequent viewings. That book that piqued Vince's interest? Peter O'Donnell's 1965 action spy novel, Modesty Blaise. Modesty Blaise, a cross between Wonder Woman and James Bond, has also appeared as the protagonist in a number of comic books. Tarantino, who is known for his unabashed enthusiasm for obscure pop culture ephemera, is a big fan of the novel. Although he has yet to write and direct a Modesty Blaise film, he has sponsored Quentin Tarantino Presents My Name is Modesty, a 2003 direct-to-video production. Number 2. The Messy Script. Following the huge success of his debut film, Reservoir Dogs, Quentin Tarantino took an impromptu 3-month vacation to Amsterdam with the $50,000 he just earned. Tarantino wrote the first draft of Pulp Fiction in a one-room apartment with no fax or phone. His day consisted of waking up and immediately writing in his notebook, taking a walk around the canal while drinking copious amounts of coffee, and then returning to his apartment to write. The first draft was a whopping 500 pages long. That's about 8.5 hours of film. Tarantino's experiences in Amsterdam undoubtedly influenced some of the script, such as Vince's musings on hash bars and how a McDonald's in Europe differs slightly from a McDonald's in America. And before meeting Tarantino, Linda Shen worked as a typist and unofficial script consultant for renowned screenwriter Robert Towne. Although Shen couldn't deny Tarantino's talent and genius, she couldn't help but be perplexed by his unconventional syntax and grammar. He appeared to have made an average of 9,000 errors per page. When the illegible handwriting was factored in, Shen dubbed Tarantino's first draft the Diary of a Madman. Tarantino had an equally unconventional professional relationship with Shen, frequently calling to see if she was available at midnight to meet for dinner and bounce ideas around. Shen would later work as a unit photographer as well. When asked if she was aware she was working on a modern cinematic masterpiece, Shen's response was amusingly blunt. No, not at all. On top of that, fellow filmmaker Robert Rodriguez was behind the camera, directing Tarantino's scenes as Jimmy. Robert Rodriguez had just completed his feature-length directorial debut, the low-budget action film El Mariachi. Number 3. Uma Thurman had a lot of changes. Mia Wallace the character and Uma Thurman the actress are inextricably linked. Mia Wallace became one of Pulp Fiction's most intriguing characters thanks to Uma Thurman's unusual quality as a young actress, projecting both naivety and worldliness. It feels right that she's on nearly every Pulp Fiction poster, as she effortlessly exudes that sublimely cool and slightly dangerous quality. However, Julia Louis-Dreyfus was very close to landing the role, and Jennifer Aniston also had a clear path to Mia Wallace. They declined because of their busy schedules on their hugely popular sitcoms, Seinfeld and Friends, respectively. Michelle Pfeiffer and the legendary French actress Catherine Deneuve were also considered. Furthermore, Uma Thurman was said to be extremely nervous prior to her dance scene with John Travolta. It was a significant turning point in the film, as well as an exciting and cinematic depiction of their relationship. It was critical to get it right down to the second. No doubt compounding her nervousness was Travolta's legendary moves, as seen on Saturday Night Fever in Greece. The actress confessed, "I was so embarrassed and awkward and shy." To calm the nerves, Tarantino demonstrated a few of the dance moves himself before filming began. Thurman realized at that point that whether the dancing was good, bad, or indifferent didn't matter. What mattered was that Mia and Vincent had a good time. Number 4. My Sharona was almost in the soundtrack. During the scene in which the feared gangster Marcellus Wallace is attacked by a hillbilly in the pawnshop's basement, there's a particular piece of music blaring, a feverish and monotonous tune that adds to the surreal, intense nature of the scene. The song is one by the Revels called Comanche. However, Tarantino was initially determined to play a different piece of music, specifically My Sharona by The Knack. It would have undoubtedly changed the scene significantly, possibly making the tone more cavalier, a light-hearted song set against a heinous violation, all for the sake of smirking irony. It could not have been a crueler or more unpleasant scene. Fortunately, a member of The Knack was not amused, citing their born-again Christian beliefs. Number 5. Matt Dillon was nearly Butch. With Matt Dillon in mind, Quentin Tarantino wrote Butch Coolidge, an elderly boxer who risks everything for a chance at freedom. Dylan, who was only 29 years old at the time, would have undoubtedly brought a different energy to Butch Coolidge. Tarantino sent Dylan the script, but Dylan's response was less than enthusiastic. He needed some time to think about it. Tarantino eventually persuaded Bruce Willis, who was a much bigger movie star. Miramax was able to sell the international rights to Pulp Fiction for $11 million thanks to Willis's movie star cachet, making the film profitable even before it played in front of a single audience. It was not only a wise business decision, but it also served the story well. Butch's desperate bid wouldn't have been as moving if he hadn't been young, fit, and had a full head of hair. That's all for today, and we'll be sure to catch you all in the next one.